go, it's already streaming, but then we can change the settings down on YouTube account to like find out right. Does it work with any like teacher login?
Probably. Yeah, it's just on there.
The school like school server. I guess it's things that makes that makes this somewhat obsolete, but it's also nice to have, you know, on laptop computers and stuff.
Sorry, I can't get it.
Oh no!
I just need to. I'll probably need to set with you sometime and just go through this.
It might be a good safety feature to have. That goes to like.
Good evening. I'm Libby Ledoux, President of the Winneconne Chapter of National Honor Society. Welcome to the 2018 ceremony inducting new members and celebrating senior graduates. I have the honor of offering a special welcome to our current school board members. Please stand to be recognized as I call your name. Donna Hanson, Becky Ledoux, and Jill Verich. Thank you for celebrating this special event with us. As president of NHS, I am pleased to recognize and thank our district administrators in attendance. Please stand as your name is mentioned. Mrs. Peggy Larson, district administrator, Mrs. Leah Mashad, high school principal, Mrs. Kathy Cady, dean of students, Mrs. Jody Jennerman, director of pupil services, and Lisa Hughes, elementary school principal. We appreciate the support you have given us throughout our schooling. Membership in Winneconne's National Honor Society is based on more than just grades. National Honor Society members must demonstrate 4 characteristics in order to earn an invitation. Scholarship, yes, but also leadership, character, and service. At this time, our NHS Vice President, Mackenzie Becker, NHS Secretary, Caitlin Coble, NHS Treasurer Morgan Keys, and NHS Historian Rachel Bissett will comment on these criteria as we begin the candle lighting ceremony.
Scholarship. All Winneconne members must maintain a cumulative GPA of 3.5 or higher. However, true scholarship does not necessarily mean only the acquisition of high marks in classwork. Rather, it is really the development of a desire to be thorough. It is the creation of love of accuracy, and above all, it is the growth of discernment in choice between fact and theory. Mere book learning is not enough. Our world needs wisdom, as well as knowledge, and scholarship is the first essential to progress. Knowledge does not stop at graduation. Every person must learn from every experience, and mental growth must never cease. I light the first candle to represent scholarship.
Character. Character is a positive force in each person which makes one an individual distinguished from all others. It is this force of character which guides us through life, responding with heroism, understanding, sympathy, or tolerance to the demands upon us. It is an achievement, not an inheritance. It is a daily striving of self-discipline, so that choices are based on morality and decency and not upon self-interest or opportunism. We must really live the way we wish others to perceive us. A sound and good character is the foundation for leadership, scholarship, and service. I light this candle in honor of good character.
Leadership. According to Webster's dictionary, leadership, simply stated, is the capacity to lead. Leadership requires a combination of charisma and wisdom. It is the inspirational influence that comes with constantly holding high ideals with the willingness to yield one's personal interest to the interest of the whole group. To lead affords the opportunity to do the work of many, because much more can be achieved by the efforts of a group than through the work of only one individual. Leadership evolves from altruism, faithful and unselfish guidance, strong and noble character, courage, and an educated mind. I light this candle to represent leadership.
Service, a spirit of unselfish initiative and a desire to improve the things around us, are the essence of service. The Winneconne chapter of NHS requires a minimum number of community service hours for its members. Sophomores must have 36 hours, juniors need 54 hours, and seniors must accumulate at least 72 hours. Most students surpass these minimums. Time and time again, it has been proven that the more a person does to help others and to improve the surrounding community, the more that person will get out of the service. I light this candle in honor of service. Scholarship, leadership, character, and service all are part of the ideal that each National Honor Society member strives to uphold. If you are here tonight, you have had a part in helping us achieve this ideal. We thank you for your part in making us the people we have become. At this time, we also wish to thank the NHS Advisory Committee and our teachers for their guidance and their presence tonight, as well as the delicious desserts. We also thank the district custodians and Mr. Tim Phillips for all the work they do to help us get ready for this event. Most importantly, we all thank our parents and families supporting our educational endeavors. Our achievements honor you. At this time, NHS Treasurer Morgan Keys and NHS Historian Rachel Bissett will introduce the sophomore inductees into the Winneconne National Honor Society.
Would the sophomore candidates please come forward and line up alphabetically by last name? We have asked the sophomore and junior inductees to create 6-word memoirs that were meant to describe their life stories in exactly 6 words. These memoirs will be shared as each member is inducted. We hope you enjoy them. You have all met the obligations for becoming members of National Honor Society. As I call your name, please come forward and sign the book. Rachel will then present you with your membership certificate. Audience, we ask that you please hold your applause until all the sophomore members have been introduced. Sydney Asian. Live like there is no tomorrow. Trent Bannock. You get what you put in. Breely Billman. Work hard, be happy, dream big. Jonathan Bayline.
Lift weights, have fun, take naps. Emma Collins. Small town, big dreams, needs direction. Tierney Eklund. Stay humble, work hard, be kind. Morgan Fenrick. Work hard and trust the process. Brooke Flunker. I was normal 3 cats ago. Claire Gentry. Walking on the road less traveled. Lindsay Glady. I'll never stop singing. Sorry, Mom. Isabella Golan. Mistakes are stepping stones to life. Graham Golan. What's life without a little procrastination? Mackenzie Gonerty. Don't go through life with regrets. Robert Gray. Kid gets golf clubs, pursues dream. Lily Hayes. Flashy cleats, sweet bats, hitting dingers. Trenton Hansetter. Always looking for energy and competition. Catherine Henning. Doubt me, I'll prove you wrong. Autumn Hunter. Life is bigger than 6 words. Lindsay Kleinheinz. Life, a flip down the stairs. Brianna Koval. So close and yet so far away.
Cindy Krieger. Don't be sad, get a dog. Sarah Lothar. Big heart, big dreams, big smile. Paige Meyer. True joy is in the journey. Alyssa Nelson. Always remember to keep being beautiful. Brooke Nelson. It wasn't over, still isn't over. Carter Norton. Onwards and upwards is the direction. Alexandra Pascarella. Failure often leads to great success. Marianne Reinbell. God's love will never wear out. Cade Riley. Going places? No. Creating places? Yes. Michaela Ron. Let's enjoy right here, right now. Harrison Rubidou. Memoirs are harder than you think. Amber Ryan. Smiling makes everything better in life. Morgan Sawiczka. Dreams don't work unless you do. Drake Sheriff. Life is better when you're smiling. Eva Shaw. I can't is not an option. Amanda Stone. Laugh always, love deeply, have faith. Brooke Vistain. Live this moment, not the next. Ponderlow.
Such lofty goals, but worth it. Andrew Line. Small town, big dreams, seeking adventure. Hannah Wilkinson. Mistakes are the key to success. Lake and Zima. Work hard, have fun, eat more. Congratulations, sophomores. Please continue the leadership, scholarship, service, and character that has qualified you for membership this year. NHS Vice President Mackenzie Becker and Secretary Caitlin Koval will now introduce our junior members.
Would the junior inductees please come forward and line up alphabetically? As Morgan mentioned earlier, we had asked the sophomore and junior inductees to create 6-word memoirs that were meant to describe their life stories in exactly 6 words. These memoirs will be shared as each member is inducted. Juniors, you have met the criteria for inclusion in the National Honor Society. As I call your name, please come forward and sign the membership book. Caitlin will then present you with your membership card. Audience, please hold your applause until all junior members have been introduced. Riley Asian. You win some, you lose some. Rachel Bissett. Great shoes take you great places. Caleb Booten. There is always time to debate. Evie Burns. Might as well eat that cookie. Katie Butte. Think less, live more, smile always. Caleb Seelar. My life, many passions, one purpose. Liliana Fox. Life is what you make it. Caitlin Frederick. Life's short. Live in the moment. Sydney Hall. Music within us brings us happiness. Dakota Callis. Live life, stay driven, be kind. Autumn Plum. Experience everything life has to offer. Peyton Kurtz. Dedication and humility lead to success. Rudy Liljeberg. It will happen when you happen. Alex Mastalish. Making mistakes and learning from them. Greg Morawski. Goal setting, goal achieving, keep repeating. Hannah Newman. I'm not short, I'm fun-sized. Jake Oman. Don't follow your dreams, chase them. Sarah Pasquarella. Lift others up with your gratitude. Jade Perry. Stay patient and trust your journey. Bryce Peters. Mistakes are proof that you're trying. Ellie Simon. Semester project, night before, challenge accepted. Sydney Thomas. I am more than 6 words. Maggie Vanden Langenberg. Bird. Living is more than just breathing. Bailey Watson. Born and raised a total nerd. Hunter Wright. Eat, sleep, school, baseball, homework, repeat. Maddie Young. When life's tough, remember you're tougher. Samantha Zander. Yes, Sydney and I are twins. Sydney Zander. And no, we are not identical. Congratulations, juniors. As next year's senior NHS members, continue the leadership, scholarship, service, and character that has earned you this honor. While the juniors are getting their picture taken, Mrs. Pepler and Mrs. Meyer, NHS advisors, will introduce our senior ceremony.
Good evening, and thank you for all joining us tonight. We had a very successful year, and we would just like to share with you some of the projects that our members worked on this year. We went to the elementary school and spent the day with the 5th graders. They participated in team building activities and made thank you cards for local law enforcement and fire departments, along with cards and letters for Old Glory Honored Flight members. We also made tie blankets and gift baskets for hospital employees to enjoy over the holidays, along with the patients. NHS members went into all grade levels in high school and led discussions about high school choices. We volunteered 2 evenings at the Christine Ann Center helping out with various tasks, cleaning closets, organizing pantries, and whatever they really needed help with. Our NHS group was nominated for the Youth Alliance Award from their work that they had done at the Christine Ann Center this year. We focused on Earth Day, creating announcements that ran in the local newspaper, sold reusable tote bags, collected old shoes for Nike's Reuse a Shoe program. We played bingo at the nursing home at Parkview Health Center. We did offer some stress relief for our juniors the night before they had their ACT tests. We helped with 2 concession stands to fund our projects and also our scholarships. And after our most recent Blizzard Evelyn, we sent thank yous and cookies and treats to the police departments, towing agencies, and road crews.
Before we start the senior speeches, which I see an anxious row of seniors sitting here just waiting, holding their breath, we really want to once again take a minute to thank Tim Phillips for helping with this evening and for ironing our tablecloth. So thank you very much. It's amazing. Jerry Zamzow and custodial staff for always being so helpful in keeping our building looking nice and clean. Mr. Jim Melby and FFA horticulture students for the plant centerpieces that are for sale, that are out in the commons. Mr. Don Molitor and his art students for the beautiful art displays, which you walk around, it's amazing. Like, we have some very talented students in this building. And of course, Mr. Brunker and our STEAM classes for the tables, because I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of the tables that our work is displayed on were made by our students here. So, pretty amazing display of things out in our lobby. I'm going to introduce the first speaker, Mr. Craig Van Camp. Teachers, please remember to introduce yourselves when you come up to give your speech. Here we go.
Good evening. Here we are. We have 28 wonderful qualified seniors to be inducted tonight, and I think they enjoy seeing me up here because now the shoes on their foot here. I'm in a very uncomfortable situation versus them in my class. This is like the most nerve-wracking night of the year for me every year. But let's begin. So my name is Craig Van Camp, and I'm a math teacher here at Winnie County High School. And with the first pick in the 2018 NHS induction, I select the former owner of this cute little fridge magnet. Yes, I'm talking to the one and only KK. Caitlin Koval, please join me. So I'm going to explain the magnet a little bit later. Some students just have that smile you'll always remember. Other students have that glare you'll never forget. Caitlin always seems to look on the bright side of life, and I think this positively affects others around her. If I was only allowed one word to describe KK, the speech would be very short. I mean, what I meant to say was if I was to use only one word to describe Caitlin Kovla, it would be heart. I'm going to hit the pause button here. You see, there's two sides of Caitlin that I've gotten to know these past couple of years. This quiet, stone-faced student that is trying to learn challenging math topics. I get that about 45 minutes a day. And then the chipper, talkative young lady has this aura of positivity. The Caitlin I see coming into class, leaving class, and basically every moment she's not in my class now. Okay, on pause. This young lady embodies compassion and care. Some examples? Do you remember this? So this cute little Mickey Mouse magnet, her junior year, on an early release day, my 4-year-old son, Keegan, visited her pre-calculus class. And of course, Caitlin was quick to interact with Keegan. It was clear Caitlin enjoyed and had a natural talent making connections with kids. Well, at some point during that time, she presented this as a gift to Keegan, and he still loves it, and it's made a wonderful home in my fridge. Why you have a fridge magnet in your bag? I'm still not sure. Now, Caitlin has helped with various NHS projects. I want to highlight the project she organized for the 5th graders at our elementary school. They did team bonding activities, crafts focusing on the 4 pillars of NHS. They also wrote letters to thank local police and fire stations. All the positive feedback I heard from NHS members that helped out and from the elementary are testament to how well Caitlin organized this event. The list of her volunteer efforts go on and on with one common theme captured by this quote from Caitlin. Quote, "Throughout my years in NHS, something I've learned is the importance of helping others. It's a passion of mine." To further prove my point, listen to these excerpts, Caitlin's words. "Be nice. How you carry yourself each day is how people will remember you. Make your choice wisely." Her advice, quote, "Strive for progress, not perfection. Find something good in each day." Now, Caitlin lists her parents, Scott and Lydia, as the most influential people in her life. Scott, Lydia, please stand and be recognized. They have modeled the caring, always put others first mentality and work ethic that we all see in Caitlin, and they've pushed her to do her best. Now, KK plans on attending UWGB to be an elementary school teacher. Caitlin, you are going to be an incredible teacher. In closing, the question about 15 minutes of fame, no, not 15 minutes. With your life's mantra, you may never be world famous, but you'll be unforgettable because of the long-lasting, life-changing, positive impacts you will make for so many. And from what I've witnessed from you, Caitlin, I'd be honored to be your colleague one day. Best wishes and Godspeed.
Keep going. It's way more intimidating in here than the lunchroom. All right. Where's our 6 words? We should have 6 words. All right. To get this started, I guess if your dad likes to shovel for 2 days straight in order to host track meet, come on up. Zima. I found it 2 days ago. Coach Riff found me digging in the back of the gym. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "It's for my speech." A year ago, I made a promise, and I said, she goes, "Are you going to speak for me next year?" I said, "Well, if I do, you better believe that fat head's coming up." And she goes, "You would not." I said, "Come on, please." There it is. So, well, again, I think they kind of said it earlier. Some of the kids, how do you encapsulate a life message in 6 words? For us, how do we encapsulate what these kids do in 500? But, you know, I'm standing up here on Sid's behalf. You know, I know Sid loves his picture, and I think every good speech has a quality visual aid, so you already helped me out there. In all reality, I've always felt a bit sorry for Sid. Just let me finish. This amazing student athlete has participated in 18 seasons of sports from 7th grade to now. I'm sure there's many more before that. And I think everyone who knows kind of our history, I have been on the sideline or on the field or out on the course for 15 of those seasons. And so she has not been able to shake me, so you can feel sorry for her. Or for me. In all seriousness, 11 varsity letters, multiple all-conference awards, a state appearance show her amazing talent. Her 4 captain awards show her amazing leadership among her peers. You did all this while being involved in student council, pro, key club, athletic leadership council, NHS, Spanish Honor Society, and of course being a 3-sport athlete is not easy. Now to the questionnaire, and being kind of up here, the students have to fill out a questionnaire, and I always like to use a few things just because I enjoy their answers. Even though I get to know her pretty well, you always learn some new things. Grade school life, what she wanted to be when she was in grade school, she said was a cheerleader. Surprising, because she had a Halloween costume. That was a cheerleading costume. To earn her 15 minutes of fame, she's going to star in High School Musical 4. I think it's like East to West or something. I had to look it up today. She is definitely afraid of thunderstorms. Her bucket list item is to visit P. Sherman 42 Wallaby Way in Sydney, Australia. If Sydney could relive any moment of her life, she would relive the 2017 sectional track and field meet when she heard the announcer call her name that she had qualified for the state meet. Sydney's school experience will hold a special place in her big heart because of all the values she has learned. For instance, the most useful piece of information she said she's learned in school was to convince someone to be your friend in order to share the microwave so you don't have to wait in line during lunch. Or maybe the little nugget from Mr. Gilman's class about a volcano that has been simmering for millions of years. You put this down. And could destroy the world. Oh yeah, she states she wants to visit that volcano if she knew she wouldn't die. She also states her best memory, which I find entertaining, is just happened recently for this track season when she refuses to sign up for any sport that I ever coach. It's her thing. And I found out she signed up for basketball, but she hasn't signed up for cross or track ever. We have a sign-up sheet, so this year I'm like, she will sign up. She never did. But I was insistent. I put her in the announcements, and my favorite one was I had all my students email her throughout the day. So she had over about 130 emails to have her sign up for track and flooded her inbox. So my big brother switch flipped on there. Maybe it would be shoveling the track. But with Sid Strong's conviction and faith as her guide, she hopes to leave her mark on the world by spreading love, happiness, and the Word of God. A great goal, as next fall, Sid will take her talents, athletic and academically, to St. Norbert College, where she'll be a member of their track team. In closing, using one of Sid's favorite quotes from Winnie the Pooh, she summed up her experience here. She goes, "How lucky am I to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard?" And I would say the same can apply both ways. It has been a pleasure and honor to stand here on your behalf tonight, and I would like her wonderful parents, Tim and Sue, to stand as we recognize and congratulate Sydney on her special accomplishment of National Honor Society.
All right, Troy Beal, Biad teacher and varsity basketball coach here. The next inductee, I have had the privilege of coaching for the past 3 years. Josh Yeager, please join me up here. Josh. So Josh had the thankless job of playing point guard for me the last few years. As a former point guard myself, that means that Josh constantly was blamed for things that weren't his fault. Josh, you're welcome. I prepared you for marriage. Of course I'm kidding. I love you, Trisha. Please don't drown me. One of one of the many things I loved about Josh is he's never complained and he'll never back down. Obviously, Josh is not 6'4", but his tenacity and his drive, he never backed down. Oh, I missed it, sorry. Tenacity and drive, he never failed to compete, and he had success throughout the years, not only on the basketball court for me, but also in the classroom. Josh will take these admirable traits to the University of Alabama next year, where I know he'll continue to achieve great success as he has done here at Winneconne. Throughout his years at Winneconne, Josh has been very involved. Along with all his community service, he has participated in cross-country, basketball, and baseball, earning 2 letters in basketball and 3 in baseball. Josh has had many successes on the field. My favorite memory of Josh is this year at North Final, going 4 for 4 from the 3-point line and proving I didn't play him enough. It is funny though. Grand State, varsity basketball game, he goes 4 for 4, has the game of his life. But his favorite memory is the buzzer beater full court shot? Full court shot in the 8th grade teacher game. Now, if I'm correct, that is the first and only time that the students have beat the teachers. Is that right? For the record, I was not here yet. So that law school is on Fleece and on Western. That ain't gonna happen again. Josh's advice to his future students is to get to know the teachers because it makes the day go by faster. I think that's an important thing to learn because strong relationships allow you to be successful in anything you're gonna do. I am more than happy with the friendship that I have developed with this young man. When asked how he will leave his mark and what he'll miss here at Winneconne, Josh talks about helping as many people as he can throughout his life. And he's gonna miss seeing his friends and teammates. This is the kind of person that Josh is, selfless. Earlier this year we had a game that we probably weren't supposed to win on paper. The whole second half of that game, he kind of got lost in the shuffle a little bit. We win the game, he didn't get to play as big a role as he probably would have wanted to. Me being the calm person I am after the buzzer went down, I just calmly walked to the end of the line, not going crazy. And Josh is the first person I see. And I grab him and I hug him and I say, "I'm sorry, Josh." And he looked right at me in the eyes and he didn't just say it, he meant it. He said, "I just wanted to win, Coach, I'm happy." That's a teammate. I am a little bit concerned about what Josh wrote about what he's learned from me and how his life quote match up. What he's learned from me is that you should work hard right away so you don't have an uphill battle later. Yet his life quote is, "Procrastination beats the best work." They seem to contradict each other, so I feel like I have failed him. But keep doing what you're doing because it seems to be working. In all seriousness, Josh, you were an absolute pleasure to coach, and I wish you the best of luck in the future. Lastly, something I saw about Josh this year that I thought was just super cool was both in our senior night and in his NHS survey, he wrote that the most inspirational person in his life is his little brother, Brendan, who's in 4th grade. And what I don't know if Josh knows, but he's going to find out in a couple seconds here, how much Brendan thinks of him.
Josh has worked very hard to get to this level. I am proud of him because he tries his hardest and never gives up every day. I'm excited for him to go to the University of Alabama and I will miss him a lot.
I would like Andrew and Aaron Diego to please stand up to be recognized. Please join Brendan and I in congratulating Josh.
Ooh, that's great. My name is Heidi Stahlman. I'm a 6th grade science teacher. I just want to say how awesome this senior class has been. In 6th grade, we still talk about them. They're just really a really neat group of kids. Sydney Zima, just so you know, I now, since Mr. Gilman went up to high school, still make them watch that creepy volcano movie. It still lives. And Mackenzie Becker, I went to Hawaii, just so you know. As a teacher, you know, you're not supposed to admit this, but I have to make an exception for her. This future Harding University Child Life Specialist is one of my all-time favorite students that I've ever had the privilege to teach and coach. It's the one and only Tessa Tagrutinus. Not only have I enjoyed teaching her as a 6th grader, but my favorite times have been spent with Tessa have been coaching her. I've always got the inside scoop on who the girls think are hot from the other track team. Tips on how to use Snapchat, even Twitter. And she even found my doppelganger at a track meet. My doppelganger had, you know, long, nice blonde hair, you know, a little curly, wavy, about the same build as me. But when my doppelganger turned around, it was a guy. Thanks, Tess. Like, but I swear from behind, it looked just like you. I'm like, okay, thanks. Tessa has been involved in so many things at high school, from volleyball, basketball, track, equestrian team, pro, student council. But I think her biggest accomplishment is her selflessness work for others. It's Tessa's faith and heart of gold that allow her to see things and people in a bigger light, a light that not many her age have experienced yet. Tessa has left for spring break after the start of track season for mission work in Haiti during her spring break. At the time when others are enjoying the warmth of Florida or other tropical places, Tessa was thinking of others. When she returned, I asked her about her experience there. Tessa had witnessed and experienced things that really put life into perspective. Here I am trying to work with her to increase her throwing distance right after she worked at orphanages and was passing by mothers on the street who could barely feed their children. I was writing this and choking up. Why did I do this to myself? How do you, as a coach, ask your athlete to focus and care about throwing a steel ball when she has just experienced something like that? Tessa understands that success isn't given, it's earned. She's a worker, and there's no doubt that comes from her really amazing parents, Dennis and Kim. It isn't coincidence that Tessa has said that they've made the biggest impact on her life. Tessa said that she admires how her mom had taught for almost 30 years and truly loves her job and her students. She also admires her dad for his ability to start and run his own successful business for the past 25 years. She admires his generosity and ability to always help and think of others first. Her favorite memory of all time is when her and her mom Kim tried to go through a car wash for the first time. Envision this. I can just see it in my head. Oh my gosh, I was laughing. So it's a conveyor belt type of car wash, and it's one that like takes your car through on its own. So you do nothing, it just drives it right through. Now envision that you don't know that you put your wheel in the track and it goes through by itself, right? So Tessa and Kim are driving through this wash now on their own, by their own power, driving through this wash. Now imagine Kim's contagious laugh while all of this is happening. And at the end, the car comes out and is completely covered in soap. It's not even fully clean. I love it. Tessa has made such a big impact on me, and her faith and selflessness is something to be admired. Her favorite quote is one by Mother Teresa: "Spread love everywhere you go. Let no one ever come to you without leaving happier." With Tessa's faith, core values, amazing parents, her compassion for others, and her awesome sense of humor, there is no doubt in my mind that she's going to be outstanding in all aspects of her life, even your newfound hobby of cross-stitching. We've had so many great laughs together and over the years, and I want to thank you for letting me be a part of your journey. With the two most outstanding parents that I've truly ever had the privilege to know, Kim and Dennis, please stand up.
mentioned before, my name is Becky Pepler. I teach chemistry and forensic science along with being one of the NHS advisors. This young lady is like a second daughter to me and has and will continue to have a special place in my heart. I've had the privilege of teaching her over the past 3 years in 4 different classes, and she even begged me to offer a chemistry 3 class. I've also been lucky enough to spend 5th hour with her as my TA. Morgan Keys, will you please join me? Morgan will be attending Marian University next year, where she will major in nursing and pursue a career as a nurse practitioner. For those of you that know Morgan, this career choice shouldn't sound like a surprise, because she always puts others before herself and wants to help anyone in any way that she can. Morgan's list of achievements, awards, and community service are extensive, but there is one common theme. They all show her passion for helping others. Morgan can sum up her educational experience by saying that it was tiring, which would make sense because she continually works hard for her success and gives everything she does a full effort. And for advice she'd give to future students is that procrastination doesn't work. She must have learned this early because I've never known her to procrastinate on anything. Looking back on some of her best memories from high school, Chemistry 2 ranks as #1 for many reasons. A quote that sums up her life philosophy is, "Don't worry about failures. Worry about the chances you miss when you don't even try." This quote has true meaning for Morgan because she does not let the fear of failing stop her from achieving anything she wants. With this mentality, she should be able to check off the items on her bucket list, no doubt, which include finishing a half marathon, which she can hopefully check off in the next week or 2 here, travel to at least 25 countries, go on a mission trip to Africa, and explore the world. Morgan, there's one thing on your bucket list that I didn't mention, which was to change someone's life for the better. I can tell you that you can check that one off your bucket list because you've changed my life. Your positive outlook on life is inspiring and something that I will miss the most. Morgan lists her grandma Pat as the most influential person in her life. She admires her grandma's choice to live each day to the fullest and her thoughtfulness of others. And clearly, she has learned well from her, as Morgan possesses the same qualities that she admires about her grandma Pat. I know that Morgan was put on this earth to do great things, and I have no doubt that she will. As a mother, I can only hope that my daughter will grow up to be the kind of young lady that Morgan has become. I wish you the best of luck next year and beyond, and I can't wait to see the mark you leave on this world. One final piece of advice is that adventure awaits. Keep searching for it, and the world is waiting for you. If you ever lose sight of that vision, put this in a place that will give you a constant reminder. Okay, sure waits. So you have that to look at. Please join me in recognizing Morgan and her parents, Jim and Carrie Keys. Please stand and be recognized.
I'm Trisha Bilo. I teach social studies here at the high school, and I'm also the student council advisor. A couple things, this is like scarier than I can ever imagine. Second thing, Troy Bilo is grounded. Totally uncalled for. And finally, I feel so honored to speak for a member of the class of 2018. Student council of this school, you've left some really big shoes to fill. I don't want to get into it and cry and then embarrass myself more, but in particular, one of these individuals has always set the bar for herself very high, somehow is always able to give 110% in all she does. I've been fortunate to have her as a student council officer and a student in multiple classes. She's one of the hardest working, kindest, most enthusiastic young ladies I've ever met. Leah Kibasta, could you please come forward? I had to laugh when I read that one of the most useful pieces of information that Leah, of all the classes and everything that she's done, which is so many things, she's involved in so many things and actively involved in so many things, that one thing that you learned in school is how to correctly roll the fake duct tape that we have to use at school dances. and to hang signs that's literally fake duct tape. It really shows her dedication to student council. Whenever we forgot that little trick, which it has to be horizontal, like it cannot be horizontal or it will fall off within hours, and it's a disaster. So it has to be vertical. Whenever we forgot, decorations would fall immediately. And that comment, I feel, really epitomizes Leah. She's a hardworking individual, always from step 1 to step 100, hands-on with group individual projects, knows how to learn from her mistakes with tape and roll with the punches, all with a positive attitude. Since she has the tape technique nailed, apparently we went through a lot more than I thought this year. I meant to give you a whole roll, but you get this one. So you won't leave any residue at Platteville. So I don't have a frame, I just have tape. So Leah's secrets to success are to care about what you're doing and put your heart into it. Also to understand, not just memorize. Her ability to take advantage of the opportunities that Winneconne High School has to offer, which led to her place as a valedictorian and a trip to state championship for soccer, are testimonies to her personality. She also doesn't do things halfway. If any of you were able to attend this year's Jingle Book Bash and the Polar Express Living Storybook, you were fortunate to witness a fully choreographed hot chocolate scene directed by and starring Leah. Multiple hours of repeated presentations, by the way. It was amazing. She and the rest of our amazing group worked hundreds of hours to make Winneconne High School a better place for staff and students. But for Leah, it certainly didn't end there. She gives everything to every one of her long list of extracurriculars, which is amazing. At this time, it seems appropriate that I ask her parents to stand and be recognized for all they've done for Leah. John and Christine Kubasta, would you please stand? Leah credits her parents with her positive attitude and work ethic, which I witnessed also at Jingle Book Bash when I think you had dinner plans for your brother and they stayed hours helping clean up our wilderness crazy scene that was in there. And in particular, she mentions her mom as the one who's shown her the strongest of loves and has always shown her that she's able to do whatever she wants as long as she's willing to work for it. In grade school, that meant being a teacher just because her mom was. That has since changed, but the impact of her mom hasn't. Can't tell you how happy and thankful I am to have been able to speak for such an outstanding individual who's always motivated others, including myself, to be a better person. As Augie, in the novel and movie Wonder, says, everyone in the world should get a standing ovation at least once in their life. I have no doubt that Leo will receive many as she pursues mechanical engineering at Platteville. Good luck, please.
Hello everyone, I'm Dana Jervik and I'm a former high school social studies teacher and the current district librarian. If I could bottle up her positivity and genuine kindness, I would be rich in so many ways. Her smile is contagious, even if it's gotten her into a bit of trouble sometimes. She mentions me influencing her to focus on being honest, positive, and genuine, and to stay strong in times of struggle. Without getting too sentimental this early in the speech, Livia Ledoux is one of the best students, actually one of the best people I have ever had the pleasure of knowing. Livia, can you please step forward? How can you read this? There are no pictures. Well, some people use their imagination, and Libby has an incredible amount of imagination and drive. She was accepted into Madison and got the role of Belle from Beauty and the Beast all on the same day. She has received many high academic honors and is involved in so many activities and extracurriculars. Key Club, Pro, Book Club, Jazz Choir, Theater, Spanish Honor Society, Badger Girls. And I just found out about her Spotlight Award nomination, which is similar to a Tony Award for local theater. Libby's involvement is influenced by her mother, who gives so much of herself to the school and community. Libby credits her mom with always giving her the best advice and being a role model with volunteering her time and skills. Perhaps Libby will continue her love of helping others as she travels the world, which is a life goal. At Madison, she plans to major in journalism and receive a certificate in musical theater. Libby will make a positive mark on others wherever life takes her. Libby's goal of being influential in her school during her last year in high school has certainly been accomplished. I'd argue that she spent 4 years making the school a better place. With coffee and laughter at the forefront, she has been able to create lifelong relationships with students and staff. Libby's love of reading and me begging her to help brought her into the high school library as a TA during her junior and senior years. She helped students find and check out books and gave me so many recommendations for purchasing new books. In the library, we'll miss her help, her smile, and her energy. But Libby has affected my life more deeply than she knows. I was lucky enough to have taught her in American history her sophomore year, and that year my 18-month-old daughter Heidi had unexpectedly passed away, and Libby, at 15 years old, was suddenly helping me as I struggled. That year, she would become more influential in my life, and I'll never be able to thank her enough. Sorry. Libby, we all wish you the best of luck. To quote a favorite philosophy of yours, what a wonderful thought it is that some of the best days of our lives haven't happened yet, and this is so very true for you. Go and spread your kindness around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in recognizing Libby Ledoux and her parents, Becky and Jim Ledoux.
Good evening. My name is Mr. Thomas. I am a physics and engineering student here at Winter County High School. This next individual really doesn't need much of an introduction. All you need to do is look in the hallway, see who's taking their own sweet time getting to class, and here he comes just in the nick of time. John Garofalo. This, John? Yeah. John is a person that seems to always be in a good mood. He never gets upset. I would call him calm, cool, and collected at all times. Unless I have to continuously ask him to get off playing chess and get back to work. Again, and again, and again. John has heard the word zero tolerance many times. After all that, John has accomplished quite a bit. Enough where he is going to attend UW-Madison to study computer engineering, where he is planning to develop a machine that will read your mind and play the song that you want to hear most, even if you don't know you want to hear the song. That would be amazing. Some of John's memories here at WHS, the funniest one. I'm not sure your parents know about this one, but they're going to find out now. When his friend Jack shot his other friend Eric point blank in the lip with an airsoft gun. On accident, of course. Did your parents know about that one? Well, they do now. Something you might not know about John, and you're going to have to demonstrate this because I can't believe it. He can whistle and hum at the same time. His favorite school trip or project, I was fortunate enough to have him choose one of our projects. It was the egg drop, where they had to design a helmet that would fit on an egg, and they had to drop it from a certain distance without breaking the egg. And they accomplished the task, although he didn't beat Mitchell Gibson's group. Here are some words for underclassmen. Take it as you will, underclassmen. Don't slack off your freshman year. Well, some of these are probably past their freshman year. Hit the pavement running. Are you starting soon? And then, embrace a slow, inevitable decline in effort. I can attest to that, John. You accomplished your task. When asked where you expect to be on this day, exactly 1 year from now, and when I saw this answer, I could picture it in my mind. He proudly stated, in my dorm room, on a couch, studying for an exam that I'm not ready for, or I really don't mind how well I do. But he's also probably playing a game on the phone at the same time. The quote that sums up John's life philosophy is by Maya Angelou. I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And John always makes people feel comfortable. He always makes them feel welcome. He always works well with anybody in his groups. The reason John chose this quote is that it shows that it's not the deed, but the intention. He also believes that pretty much sums up how he should face every task or obstacle that may come his way. John, good luck with every challenge that comes your way. I know you'll be a great success because of your amazing attitude. Would John's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Garofalo, please stand and be recognized. John, since you've given everybody here such great advice, I'd like to give you a little. Okay? In closing, enjoy your next adventure. I know you will. And make your mark on the world. I'm positive you will. I know you'll be a great success. Thank you for allowing me to present this award. Congratulations.
Hello everybody, I'm Justin Belant. I'm an English teacher here at the high school. Was I supposed to say Mr. instead? I'm a little confused. Well, alright, so this is a good example here of how for high school students, there's a lot of time spent being preoccupied with what is considered to be cool, right? So this next student, however, already has that all figured out. After a class where some of her peers weren't showing what I would call the best academic behavior, she confessed to me, "They think they're so cool. I once ate a whole Domino's pizza by myself. I'm cool." I can't do that. Please come forward. Hey, here she is. So, I feel that that quote pretty perfectly demonstrates your mindset, inasmuch as nobody's opinion of you really matters as much as your own, and nobody could ever expect more of you than you do of yourself. Because of that, it's clear that your future is unlimited. You get that reference there? There's a couple more hidden throughout this speech. So it's an honor to be introducing Mackenzie this evening, but it wasn't exactly a surprise. As her English teacher, both sophomore and junior years, and over many morning venting / freak out about exam sessions, the topic has come up once or twice. Actually, I believe the exact words were something like, "You better be ready to give my NHS speech." I think I heard that maybe a couple times. Another topic that's come up a lot, which might come as a surprise to those of you who know Mackenzie, is failure. Pretty early on, I noticed that Mackenzie is just a little bit of a perfectionist. Again, might be as a surprise to some of you. In junior year, I actually had the nerve to hand back a paper to her with the final score being an 11.7 out of 12. So that was back when we had the whole 12-point thing. I don't know if you guys remember that. So an 11.7. And to be honest with you, I did expect her to be upset by that. I assumed she was pretty much used to doing everything right the first time. And yet, she was a little bit upset about that grade at first. Though I gotta say, eventually she actually thanked me for an 11.7 out of 12. She was grateful that I hadn't just given up and given her a 12, and I had actually made an effort to teach her something new. So, of course, that's not exactly failing, I should say, but it is a great example of how failure is a motivator for Mackenzie. In her own words, she says that it's not failing that's unadmirable, it's being okay with it that is. I have met very few students with the work ethic and inner drive that Mackenzie possesses. I never actually realized how much of a slacker I was when I was in high school, until I found out how much stuff Mackenzie's involved in. So just a little list for you here, including but not limited to sports, NHS, student council, choir, pro, key club, math club, leadership activities, community service, and I could probably keep going for the duration of this speech. But you get the idea. She's one of her class's valedictorians, which incidentally, she claims that she just learned how to spell this year. But I suspect that she's been practicing it maybe since like kindergarten. She'll be studying biology at UW-Madison this fall, and on top of that, she has already found and met her roommate for the fall. Given how much she has already accomplished in her young life, it seems there is nothing that can bring you down. There's so much more I could say about Miss Becker if given the time. I don't think I've ever called you Miss Becker before. Over the years, I've come to see this young lady as somebody with the potential to reach and inspire everybody she meets. She has said that she wishes to leave her mark on the world simply by being a good person. And personally, I know that just because I was her teacher, I have been changed for the better. Please join me tonight in recognizing Miss Mackenzie Becker, represented tonight by her parents, Mark and Lori.
My nerves have led to like sheer terror right now, so please bear with me. My name is Mary Gogo. I am a teacher. I teach social studies here, obviously, and I am the Key Club advisor. This is my second year at Winneconne, and being new to any school, even as a teacher, can be a little intimidating, terrifying. However, it is amazing students with big hearts like Sadie Pizzer that make the transition a little easier. Sadie, please come up to the phone. I have had Sadie in class the last 2 years, and she is that responsible, studious student that clearly has earned her place in NHS. However, it is through Key Club that I learned about another side of Sadie. On her application for Key Club, Vice President, she said she wanted to make Key Club more visible in the school and the community, which ultimately led to our Houston Drive this past fall. To make this happen, the club had to find a company willing to donate a semi, fill the trailer with donated supplies, find someone to volunteer their time to drive the truck down to Texas. Sure, no problem at all. And while it was a lot to do in a really short time, with students like Sadie, it wasn't that hard. From the beginning of the project, Sadie was there spreading the word, hanging flyers, contacting businesses, collecting donations, loading the truck in the cold and rain while homecoming festivities went on around her. She was the first person I saw when I pulled up to school on that Saturday morning of the homecoming dance and my dad, to finish organizing all the donations before the truck took off. Sadie's heart and determination are inspiring. Not only does this lady have a big heart,
Like I said, she is a dedicated student and a talented athlete. It is no wonder that next year, Sadie will be attending Fox Valley Technical College and has chosen to pursue a career that will ultimately help and serve others as an occupational therapy assistant. This is a little different from the path she had originally planned out when she was younger, which was to be a ladybug farmer. I have no idea what that is. If you ever choose to do that, maybe you could get my boys to join you. They are always enthusiastic. But nonetheless, your choice is important. When Sadie was asked how she intended to leave her mark on the world, she referenced a quote from her church where she did most of her community service. "Do not shine so that others can see you. Shine so that through you others can see him." And said, "I hope that I can live a life where I can give back to others." Also, the two most influential people in her life are her parents, because they support her in everything she does. Dave and Sue Feetzer, please stand up and be recognized with your amazing daughter and her accomplishments.
Good evening. I'm Lisa Olson, an English teacher here at Winneconne High School. Every English teacher loves a great plot to a story, especially when it originates from our students. The story entitled Ride Safe will definitely go down in history as one of the most memorable and entertaining stories written for an American Romanticism unit. This story turned into like a trailer and a movie, and we had illustrations done, and the girls had some fun. McKenna Getz, one of the creators, writers, and literary agents behind Ride Safe, is joining me on stage. Of course I had to mention Ride Safe. To say that McKenna has been busy while in high school is a bit of an understatement. In addition to National Honor Society, McKenna has been involved in soccer, volleyball, track, cross country, FFA, SHS, Pro, Key Club, Parliamentary Procedure Team, Jazz Choir, Debate, Book Club, Student Council, WALC Leadership Council, Academic Decathlon, Winneconne Theater Drama Company, and Quiz Bowl. A real slacker we've got here. And she's salutatorian. She has volunteered her time at concessions, bell ringing, instructing a sailing course at the Waters, and working as a theater stagehand. McKenna also has a second-degree black belt in karate and maybe sleeps an hour a day at that rate, I'm not sure. Through all of her experiences while in high school, McKenna learned many things. Most importantly, her advice to other students is to join clubs and sports freshman year, especially theater and academic decathlon. McKenna has many fond memories from high school. She will always remember opening night from Fiddler on the Roof, going to state for soccer and academic decathlon, and going to Barnes & Noble and the lock-in with Book Club. McKenna also claims that deciding to join theater was the best decision that she has ever made. Despite all the fond memories, McKenna has some not-so-fond memories of getting locked in the link between the high school and middle school for an entire focus time during her freshman year. I would love to see video footage of that. And I was going to say, she claims that the same thing may or may not have happened again her senior year. You didn't mention that in your interview. That's good. Next year, McKenna is attending UW-Madison, and she is currently undecided on her major. In addition to McKenna's parents, Abby Johnson is the most influential person in her life. McKenna states, and I quote, "Abby has been through a lot these past few years, but that hasn't stopped her from being an amazing athlete or a freakishly intelligent human being. She is also the nicest person I've ever met, and she has always been there for me. Honestly, it is a good thing that we are rooming together at college because I don't think that I could function without her." End quote. I know the two of you are going to have so much fun together at Madison. McKenna has many items on her bucket list, such as skydiving, cliff jumping, traveling to every country in Europe, Australia, and South Africa, flying in a hot air balloon, going scuba diving in the Great Barrier Reef, running a marathon, climbing a mountain, owning 10 dogs, 10 cats, and 10 horses, becoming an early riser, which might be the most difficult item on that list, and solving a Rubik's Cube, just to name a few. Now that you're almost done with high school, I want to at least get you started on one item on the bucket list. And I can guarantee it's not the 10 dogs, 10 cats, and 10 horses. Best wishes to you, McKenna. You have an unbelievably bright future in front of you. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in recognizing McKenna Getz and her parents, Jeff and Susan Getz.
Been some funny stories tonight, but I don't know about you. I'm still stuck on the I was normal 3 cats ago. The student that I had the privilege to introduce, I've known for a long time. In fact, the first time that I saw the student was kind of an emotional day because we were at a hospital and she was naked. It was her birthday. I'm talking about my beautiful daughter. Abigail, please come forward. I truly feel so blessed right now. I believe that most parents would love for the opportunity to have a captive audience where it's appropriate. You can stand in front of the crowd and explain why you feel your child is so simply amazing. So this proud father is going to make the most of his 3 minutes while he's up here. First, here are some interesting facts or accomplishments about Abby. Abby started high school off with a bang. She explains that it was her funniest, most embarrassing moment in the first few days of her freshman year, in which she accidentally walked all the way in to the boys' bathroom. When she was in elementary school, Abby wanted to be an eye doctor and owned a doctor's office with Handa Vinska. They both had glasses, and that was really cool. Well, since I'm a biology teacher, she would ask me to bring home a cow eye, which she proceeded to dissect at home. She has a 4.0 GPA and is one of the valedictorians of this class. Abby was named MVP of her basketball team, received honorable mention all-conference for basketball, and second team all-conference for cross-country. Most recently, Abby received an award that combines academics and athletics, and she was named the WCAC Academic All-State Basketball Team, which recognizes the top 15 players in Wisconsin for both their on-court performance and combine it with their in-class accomplishments. Abby has actively participated in many school clubs, too many to list. She's currently president of the student council. She puts running a marathon on her bucket list. And finally, because of her celiac disease, Abby has enjoyed the daily lunches prepared and packed by her mother. And she would like to give a shout out to Mrs. Zima's Hormel chili. Here's some advice that Abby would pass on to future Winnet County High School students. Well, I'm guessing this advice is in addition to telling girls to stay out of boys' bathroom. Right? Her advice is to spend time to get to know your teachers. It makes school more enjoyable. Wait, what was the senior class award you just won? Oh, teacher's pet. That's right. You took that seriously, didn't you? I believe that the quote she selected for her life philosophy would also apply to future students. It is from the book of Exodus, and it reads, "The Lord will fight for you, you need only to be still." She states that she chose this verse because it is such an important reminder in everyday life. We can get caught up in hectic everyday things that we can forget to be still and listen to God. She continues by saying, we need to be less caught up with our plans for our life and be more focused on God's plans for us. Abby, you are everything that I had hoped for in a daughter. You even selected me as one of your most influential people in your life. You stated you liked my strong faith, and now I'm using your words. You said, Dad is always right, especially with politics. It breaks me well. Allow me to flip this around and say, Abby, you are very influential to me and those around you, and I'm confident that after graduation, you will help to make America great again. In closing, Abby has been accepted to the business school at the University of Wisconsin in Madison, where she plans to major in accounting. Abby, I love you. I could not be more proud of you, the person that you've become, both in the classroom and out. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in recognizing Abby Gilman and the best mother and wife in the world, Dana Gilman.
I have to talk about who did the order, because you can't ever follow up father and daughter. Good evening, my name is Don Molitor. I'm the high school art teacher here. Tonight I would like to introduce a young lady who has been a part of my life for 7 of the 12 years I've spent teaching here in Winneconne. It all began in Winchester Elementary. I will formally apologize to anyone who had me at Winchester Elementary. I am not an elementary teacher, those are special people. So, I hope you're all okay, those of you who are leaving here. Would Riley Keys please come up? Riley is a talented, hardworking, and very polite young lady that I've enjoyed working with and watching grow over the 7 years in my classes. Her belief that education is a life investment and should be built upon each day is not just words written or said, it's something that I actually see Riley practice daily. Riley's been a very positive addition to the art room. Even at Winchester early on, you could see her talent and passion for creating. While I hope to have influenced your art, Riley, I want you to know you also influenced me to be a better teacher, person, and even a father. I didn't have a little one before I started teaching all of you guys, so you guys helped a great deal. Your kindness, smile, enthusiasm, and effort are what I'll remember most. From those early Winchester years, Riley has maintained the same happy, eager, and ready to do what it takes attitude. Riley also has claimed some fame as an artist. Many of you may have seen her work. She was responsible for the 49th annual Sovereign State Days flag, the ones with the little rockets on it. Riley also holds the distinction of being the only student that I have worked with in my 28 years of teaching that had a single work win 2 awards at a single show. It was at the High School Art Day in Oshkosh, which she just recently had a work selected again. But Riley won both the Dean's Award and Chancellor's Award with the work that sits out here in the auditorium's entrance. Those are 2 of the biggest awards you can win at that show, and her single piece took the both, so very impressive. Riley claims that experience was one of her greatest accomplishments to date because it actually meant somebody was looking at her artwork and recognizing her skills. Riley is also active throughout the school. She takes part in several school groups and activities such as Key Club, Pro, Photography Club, NHS, and Art Club. You will also find her competing in track, cross country, and volleyball. Outside of school, she's been very involved with Bible school and helping various organizations wherever help is needed. Riley will tell you the most influential person in her life is her Aunt Winnie. Riley remembers the art lessons her aunt would give her, helping her fuel her passion for art. She also shares her aunt's passion for helping others, which will explain why Riley plans to pursue a career in pediatric psychology. Riley's favorite quote is by Mexican artist Frida Kahlo. "Spend time doing what feeds your soul." So it is no surprise when asked if she could relive one moment, what it would be. It would be the day she met her best friend, Abby. It was Riley's first day in Winneconne after leaving Winchester. Abby greeted her with a great smile, and a hello. A friendship was born. Good friends are good for the soul. Riley, you'll be missed, and I'm sure you'll be off doing bigger and greater things. I also want to wish you good luck in your quest to give a baby elephant a bath. I tried to have one delivered. They wouldn't deliver a live animal. That was on her bucket list. I want to leave you with something credited to the artist Michelangelo. The greater danger for most of us lies not in setting our aim too high and falling short, but in setting our aim too low and achieving our mark. Riley Keys, aim high always.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Corey Coonan, and I teach social studies here at the high school. It is such an honor and a privilege to introduce Morgan Matusik. Would you please come up here? This young lady, come on, get in the light. This young lady is long on accomplishments, but you probably wouldn't know that. Anyone that knows Morgan is aware of her humble and non-assuming disposition. She has what is known as the power of understatement. So let me do some boasting for her. Among Morgan's many accomplishments, she is a 4-year letter winner in soccer. Soccer Defensive Player of the Year, second team All-Conference, and captain of varsity soccer in both her junior and her senior years. Academically, she is in Spanish Honor Society, on the High Honor Roll, and is an academic awards medal winner. She has been involved in a number of different organizations, including Student Council, National Honor Society, FFA, Drone Club, president of Photography Club, on the executive board of Book Club, and a class officer, among other endeavors. As testament to the respect that your peers have for you, Morgan has been elected to prom court, Winterfest court, and was selected homecoming queen. When asked what phrase best describes her high school experience, Morgan's reply was, I don't completely understand this. This wasn't like High School Musical at all. Nice and watching, sir. Of the many delectable school lunch offerings, Morgan says that French fry Mondays were her favorite. Morgan was born to adventure. I mean that as a verb. Some of the items on her bucket list include traveling the world, seeing the Northern Lights, the Eiffel Tower, attending the Kentucky Derby, which I believe is this Saturday, scuba diving, and visiting the glowworm caves of New Zealand. She's got a jump start on world travels as she has already experienced the cultures of the Dominican Republic, Costa Rica, Spain, and France. Morgan's love for animals runs deep. Since grade school, she's wanted to be a veterinarian, and that dream has only strengthened. Not only does she love animals, she must have some trust in them as well. One thing that Morgan said that she'd like to do if she knew she could not fail was to swim with great white sharks. On the other end of the animal spectrum, did you know that Morgan raises her own chickens? It is true, I did not know that. Indicative of Morgan's kind heart and passion for animals and people. This is how she would like to be remembered. As, quote, as the doctor of veterinary medicine who wouldn't give up on animals that everyone else did. She's on her way. Upon graduation, Morgan will be attending UW-Madison and majoring in animal science with the hopes of turning that dream of becoming a veterinarian into reality. The most influential people in Morgan's life, she says, are her parents, Billy Joe and Jamie. Would you please stand up? She says they have both been great role models in demonstrating the importance of hard work and have never let her take an opportunity for granted. And she says, for that, I'm very thankful. 6 words came up earlier tonight that encapsulate a student's attitude toward life. And these 6 words I had to write down because I thought, that is Morgan. work hard, stay humble, and be kind. That is Morgan all the way. Billy Joe and Jamie, please stand, and everybody else help me in congratulating Morgan.
I'm back. It's truly an honor to be able to present to more than one student, and this student is definitely gifted in more ways than one. Mitchell Gibson, please come forward. Boy, you look sharp. The adage of big things come in small packages. He's got big dreams, big goals, and maybe a little bit of a big attitude, but that is needed where he wants to go. I am truly honored that I get to present this award to this individual. He has grown into a wonderful young man. Here are a few of the accomplishments that he listed. High honor roll, state powerlifting champion, state record holder in squat and deadlift. Very impressive. Mitchell has also stated that he really enjoys Winneconne because how he's got a relationship formed with a lot of his teachers, which he thinks leads to his success. He even calls some of us mom and dad. Hey, son. Mitchell's plans for the future. UW-Milwaukee in the fall to get a degree in cosmology. Not cosmetology, cosmology. The study of the large-scale properties of the universe. Although you might be pretty good at cosmetology, you're looking pretty sharp. Mitchell has some advice for the underclassmen, and he does exhibit these quite readily. Stay calm in moments of high stress. This will lead to the best outcome. Soak it all up, because it'll be gone in a blink of an eye. And don't cry when it's over. Cry because it happened. Take a 0-hour class, because the parking spots are wide open. And don't forget, this is the most important, underclassmen. You get 2 free tardies every semester. Have you used yours yet? Okay. Some things you might not know about Mitchell. In grade school, he wanted to be a police officer. I think he would have been a great police officer. One thing on his bucket list includes traveling the world with his wife. Is there some lucky lady that is here tonight? Couldn't make it today. Oh. What a shame. When asked how he intends to leave his mark on the world, he would like to discover something about cosmology that will prove something astounding. His quote, Maya Angelou, stated, this is his philosophy: you can't use up creativity. The more you use it, the more you have. That should be a motto for everybody that is going into any type of educational field. Be creative. Mitchell definitely has that ability. Mitchell, good luck with every challenge that comes your way. I know you'll do great. Would Mitchell's mom, Mrs. Karen Gibson, please stand and be recognized along with Mitchell. One final thought, son. Take every opportunity presented to you and treat it as it might be the last. Best of luck with your endeavor. Continued success.
If I could have my people join me on stage. It takes a big crew. Are you in order? Okay. Yeah, assemble please. 1 to 7 in front of the blue tables. Is this an entourage? Good evening. My name is Jim Melby and I teach agriculture and help advise the FFA chapter here in Winter County Schools. For my introduction, I'm going to need these 7 staff members to help with these fancy envelopes that I've created. This is kind of like your Vanna White moment, Mr. Van Camp. It is my distinct honor to have the opportunity to introduce Jody Weiland for her senior NHS recognition. You can choose to stand by the envelope, people, or over here. It's kind of your choice. Now, Jody, here's how this little spiel is going to work. When each of these Vanna Whites is going to have a chance to unveil a letter, it's going to go in order of the numbers, so math, good? All right. When it's your turn, open up the envelope, hold it up. I could have made it a little bigger, but my copy budget's kind of short. Ran it once, didn't want to run it a second time, so we're good. I hope to spend about 43 minutes explaining each of the letters and why I chose certain words that represent those letters. Ultimately, my spelling and counting skills are in tip-top shape. We're going to make a big word, and then we're going to explain what that means. You with me? Okay. Number 1. If you can't see the back, it's an O. The O represents the word original. Jody, you are an original. Often we have students that come into our class and that remind us of one of the previous thousands of students we've had. Jody, I mean this in a good way, but you don't remind me of anybody. You're a unicorn. You're a Giannis Antetokounmpo. You're a narwhal. You are unique is what I'm saying. I've never had this student with your unique category of passions coupled with an abundance of talent, brains, and drive. This is a quality that will serve you well throughout life. Number 2. R, responsible. Is it the R? Did I get it in the right order? Nice. As an advisor of a rather large group here at school, I can assure you that I spent 87% of my time sending reminder emails about the permission slips that were due last Tuesday. Jody has never completed one of those reminder emails in the dozens of permission slips that I've collected over the years. That means a lot here, because it saves me a lot of effort in typing. She also shows her level of responsibility by truly leading her team of FFA officers. She checks in on them, she monitors their efforts, she guides them as good leaders do. She is the poster child for responsibility. Number 3, G, right? Goal-driven. Jody uses SMART goals in every facet of her life, and it works. Probably when she's brushing teeth, there's a process. She knows what a proper SMART goal looks like, and she follows that process, which has led to a lot of great things in her time at WHS. This process will also lead to her future success in life as she plans to attend Fox Valley Tech to obtain a degree in agribusiness. She ultimately used some SMART goal processes as she pursues her dream of starting her own organic farm that she's going to call the Nina Farm, focusing on organic vegetable production. 4, A, nice job. Achiever. Let me put it this way. The Winter County FFA chapter started in 1940. Now, while I've only been here for 14 of those 78 years, I can without a doubt say Jody is the most highly achieving member in the history of our FFA chapter. That goes back pre-World War II. That's a long time ago. Just to name a few of her successes in her FFA experience. She's a 3-year chapter officer, including serving as president this year, our biggest membership ever with 114 members. Only the 2nd state-winning proficiency award in the chapter history, which is a pretty big deal. Multiple-year performer in the state FFA honors band with a nomination to play at the national level as well. Received multiple individual grants for his supervised agricultural experience program in organic agriculture. And in our chapter's history, only 4 times has a speaking contestant qualified for a state contest, and 3 of those 4 times was Jody in the last 2 school years. So that's pretty impressive. N. Was it the N? Nuts. I think she's nuts because she stated that she really wants to jump off a waterfall. That really is a pretty good goal for someone like yourself. I'm not interested, I can't swim. But you'll use your SMART goal process and it's going to be successful, so congratulations. Next one. Little bitty I, didn't make good copy there. Intelligent. The proof is in the pudding. We can see she's achieved scholastic success and is a member of the NHS. That's just where intelligence starts. She's intelligent socially, culturally, environmentally, agriculturally, and more. And this will serve her well in the future. And C. Convicted. Not in the legal sense of the term. I can assure you that Jody is a good, law-abiding citizen. I mean that she's convicted in her beliefs and convicted in her pursuit of her dreams. I can assure you that this level of personal conviction is a direct result of the efforts that her parents have provided for her. Jody said that she gained the following bits of wisdom from her mom and dad. My parents taught me how to work hard, even though getting up before 5 a.m. at negative 30-degree days is pretty difficult. And they taught me that the livestock and crops are the top priority. They are our future income. Lori and Dave have truly made a great impact on Jody. And unfortunately, they are not able to join us tonight. I'd like to recognize them anyways. If your spelling is as good as mine, you can see that we've created the word organic, which if you know Jody, that's Jody. Her most important thing is her family's organic dairy farm, and she has a lot of passions, but nothing is more important to her than her family and her future in agriculture. Congratulations on your successes, and the best of luck in your future endeavors.
Mr. Melby had to go off and show off his spelling skills, so big act to follow. My name is David Jervik. I'm the Director of Bands here at Winneconne High School. I'm honored to introduce our next senior, who has many talents, which include writing, acting, knitting, music, and martial arts. Sarah Chakti, would you please come forward? I've known Sarah since she started playing clarinet in the 6th grade. This is probably hard to believe, but she was more mature than me even at that age. This mild-mannered young lady is an award-winning pianist, clarinetist, and vocalist. In fact, I'm going off script here, but I was just informed yesterday that she received 2 exemplary performance awards from Statesville Ensemble this past Saturday. To put that in perspective, Oshkosh West, their whole school earned a total of 4, and Sarah counted for 2 of them. So it is a very rare honor, and I'm very proud of you, so good job. She is also a gifted writer who has been published in our conference magazine publication. Her talents will be put to good use next year. She attends the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh to major in music and English. She completed many hours of community service at the Christine Ann Center. She has enjoyed her time there, helping establish the boutique and organizing the pantry. Sarah has also been a long-term substitute accompanist at a church in Oshkosh, and her faith in Jesus Christ is a core part of her character. She selected an excerpt from Philippians as her defining quote. Whatever happens, conduct yourselves in a manner worthy of the gospel of Christ. I think Sarah has been an excellent example of this. One of Sarah's proudest accomplishments in life thus far has been learning piano and accompanying others. She started when she was just 12 years old and has become something she plans to do forever. Sarah has used her piano talents to support many area ensembles, including children's choirs, our middle school choir, and is the principal pianist in our high school jazz ensemble. When asked about what advice she would give to future Winneconne students, she said, "Get help from the teachers. We're blessed to have some really awesome teachers, and they care about you and want to help." She will miss the famous bread and cheese laid in Bosco sticks at lunchtime, as well as the structure of school that allowed her to accomplish many tasks. At last year's solo and ensemble, Sarah and her brother Jonathan both received top scores on their respective musical events. To celebrate this amazing achievement, her dad took the family out to Olive Garden. This is one of Sarah's fondest memories growing up, and I think it speaks to the importance. This memory is a great example of how much family and music means to her. With that in mind, I would like to ask her parents, Russ and Judy Chakti, to stand and be recognized at this time. And would you please give a round of applause for Sarah? Congratulations.
All right, who's next? So, Hope you're all enjoying the comfy seats here as we get through our 20 wonderful nominees. This is joyous to have this venue now to do this great today. So, our next inductee has been focused and determined to go into one specific school upon graduation for a long time now. A place that receives roughly 12,000 applications each year. A place that only accepts around 1,000 of the most elite each year. It takes a special type of person to get into the Air Force Academy. And Camille Spiegelsager, you fit the bill. Cadet, please join me. My word for Camille is drive. Pure drive and determination. I can clearly visualize the first time I worked with Camille. It was her sophomore year. She was in Algebra 2 across the way and lacking some confidence. She came in one morning to get help from me. Now, she had never talked to me before because my classes are all juniors and seniors. So it took a lot of courage and determination to seek me out for help. All she knew of me was the stories she heard from students. And trust me, that was not going to put her mind at ease. Camille walked in with a glazed over look, very somber. She started off asking a homework question quietly, head down. And as she gained understanding that morning, I saw excitement in her face and her mannerisms. And it's really what being a teacher is all about, helping a student persevere, problem solve, gain confidence in themselves. She was so polite, so sweet, and very gracious. Now, in every interaction I've had with Camille, it's clear that she has drive to do the right thing the right way. That is Camille. So it makes sense her life philosophy matches the motto of the Air Force: integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. NHS has helped her build her compassion and awareness of other strengths. She takes pride in the cards she wrote for women at the Christine Ann Center and the gifts arranged for kids that will remain at Children's Hospital over the Christmas holiday. Now, Camille's secret to success is set a variety of goals, both short and long term, so you know what to work on each day. Achieve those short-term goals and continue to make progress on the long-term goal. Her advice and most useful piece of information to share is simple. Don't be afraid to ask a question, or several. Camille's drive is seen in her academics, her success in cheer, and her involvement in every club she can join. Each day, she has a meticulously detailed plan, just as she did in her quest to attend the Air Force Academy. So I'll miss our daily conversations with Camille. If her little sisters are here, she always lights up when she talks about the two of you. And one thing I've learned about Camille, when you ask her, how's your day going? And she says, great, with like that, extended A sound. Things are not great. She most likely was up all night studying super late, woke up with her face on her book and stressing about a test or some deadline while thinking about 8 other things she needs to do. But never once have I heard her complain. She knows the goals she has set. She knows sometimes they will test her limits, and she will not complain or make excuses. Drive and determination. Camille, your journey to this point is impressive. Your goals and your mission to serve our country are both noble and honorable. As you know, your time at the Academy will be grueling and challenging. You will face challenges and adversities that would make many give up, but that's not you. Keep your head up high, your goals in sight, and persevere. You'll be an incredible intelligence officer, and one day, the CIA will be better with you in their ranks. I wish you nothing but the best going forward. Now would Mr. Brian and Mrs. Kylie Deek please stand to be recognized along with Camille.
Good evening. My name is Chris Jentz. I'm the Spanish teacher at the high school for the upper levels. I'm also the advisor for the Spanish Honor Society. Let me start by saying this is really weird being in front of students and speaking English, but I'll try to refrain from speaking Spanish as much as possible. This student that I have the pleasure of introducing has been a student in my class for 3 years. This student has always strived to do her best and will forever be known as La Chica de Gatos. Holly Frankart, please step forward. Holly plans to continue her education at the University of Minnesota Twin Cities next school year, where she'll pursue a degree in natural resource and forest management. One day, Holly hopes to work for the National Park Service. In fact, she even gave a Spanish speech this year that demonstrated her passion for the environment. And no, I don't have any video clips of it. Within the speech, she taught her classmates several things, with the most important thing being to vaya verde. I'm trying, I really am. During her time at Winnetonka High School, Holly was involved in a variety of academic clubs and extracurricular activities. Holly was a member of the Key and Ski Clubs, Academic Decathlon, Academic Bowl Team, the Creative Writing Club, Cross Country, and this chapter of the National Honor Society. Holly was also an active member and officer in the Winnetonka High School chapters of the Spanish Honor Society, and has been recognized several times for academic awards. If these activities were not enough to keep her busy, Holly was also an active volunteer in the community. Holly volunteered at the Nina Animal Shelter, as well as 4-H camp counselor. She also helped with events such as the Winnetonka Blood Drive, highway cleanups, and several club-related concessions. When Holly is not busy helping others, she enjoys writing, reading, hiking, and camping. When Holly was asked if she had any advice for her future underclassmen, she had the following to say: "High school is a very short period in your life, and probably won't matter much in a few years, so just do what you enjoy and work hard at whatever you do and try to make the best of it." There are many memories that Holly has made in high school that she will never forget. Some of these memories include parasailing over the ocean in Florida over Easter break, her brief time on stage as a dead body in the play Arsenic and Old Lace, but of course the cookies at lunch. Above all, one thing that she will miss will be her amazing friends that she has made throughout her years here at Winnetonka High School. And Holly, I have one small task for you to perform here on stage. You need to let me know if I'm using the subjunctive correctly. I tried, but here we go. Espero que recibas todo lo que quieres de la vida. Estoy seguro que tendrás mucho éxito en la universidad y en el futuro. Puedo decir, por cierto, que tendrás un impacto grande en este mundo con todo lo que harás. Ahora tú y los estudiantes pueden ver cómo usar el subjuntivo correctamente en tus vidas diarias. How did I do? Sounds good. Holly, I wish you the absolute best going forward, with the comfort in knowing how much of an impact you will have on your environment and everyone that is around you. Please join me in recognizing Holly and her parents, David and Anne.
Good evening. I'm Chris Peters, teacher over at the elementary school, so I'm one of those teachers. I don't get to see a lot of you very often anymore because you've been gone for a while. I also coach golf here at high school. This next individual, it's been my honor and privilege to have gotten to know over the past 4 years. This individual's philosophy in life is best summed up by Albert Hubbard, which says, "Don't take life too seriously. You'll never get out of it alive." It's obvious that the student has a zest for life and also loves having fun in everything they do. So they're about to make their way to the stage to sing a little bit of Miley Cyrus's Party in the USA, which is our kind of our unofficial golf song, would be Charlie Gray, or as we refer to, Chuck. Come on up. You don't want to sing, right? Okay. As Charlie looks back at his high school experience, several experiences stand out to him. Making high honor roll every semester, going to state for golf last year for the first time, and also being selected as captain on the basketball team this year. Could we add being captain on the golf team? Could we add that to the list? Okay, congratulations. His high school career has included being not only a member of NHS, but being on student council, key club, soccer, golf, and basketball as well. And he's also served on the Winnetonka Athletic Leadership Council. And all of these experiences have helped to demonstrate and develop his strong leadership skills and the qualities that he possesses. His funniest memory took place this year after 5 a.m. practice. It seems that Charlie and 3 of the seniors passed out on the floor during study hall, and while they were maybe napping a little bit, some of their classmates took some video and some pictures. So the one thing you failed to mention is that you're a social media / YouTube superstar. He will miss seeing all of his friends and teachers who he talks with every day. And seriously, on a more serious note, Charlie says that his favorite trip that he's ever taken in school were the several times that he visited the prison and talked with inmates because it was very eye-opening. Take that as you will. However, his proudest moment so far is making it to state for golf last year, as no Winneconne team had ever accomplished that, and quite honestly, no one expected it to happen other than Charlie and his teammates. So maybe another return trip in the cards. Charlie intends to leave his mark on the world by being the first president to help others achieve their dream, which happens to be the one thing he would do if he knew that he would not fail. However, he acknowledges that being president would be nice, but he'd be okay just with helping others follow their dreams and live a better life. And I think he's already gotten a great start to accomplishing that. Next year, Charlie will attend the University of Wisconsin at Madison and major in business with the hopes of working in sports management. His advice to future students and future NHS members is, you can't do this in one night, is merely just a suggestion. So I'm guessing that's a piece of relevant knowledge for his college career. So whether or not he becomes the next super agent like Scott Boras or Mark Steinberg, or he simply just becomes the mascot for a minor league baseball team, Charlie will bring a passion, a desire, and a positive attitude to anything he does. According to Southern New Hampshire University, you know those commercials you see on TV, I just like the name, their sports management program requires someone who has energy, motivation, good sportsmanship, and teamwork skills. And I would say that this fits you to, no pun intended, a T. I wish you nothing but the best in your future. I would give you a present, a nice Wolf golf logo, golf ball, but your brother took the last sleeve, so you're going to have to talk to him after we're done. Would you please help me recognize Greg and Kelly Gray as they stand?
Hi, I'm Deb Wellens. I do a little of this and a little of that here and there and wherever. So I'm so very honored to introduce this next senior. This individual has admitted that he has a tendency to procrastinate and that a year from now he's going to be cramming for a big exam. And this kid has a lot of experience cramming. The first time he was absent the day before a decathlon competition, I was in utter panic. And the team settled me down and explained that he was using one of his personal days to study for the decathlon competition. So, would Tanner Rogers please come up here and join me? I knew there was no way he'd miss the competition, not Tanner. Okay. In addition to decathlon, Tanner has known me through the classes I have covered over the years, and he has been on the academic bowl team a number of years. We all know Tanner's a great student, which is why he's one of this year's valedictorians. But where he really showed his true self as both a student and a person was on the decathlon team. This experience required him to develop his own path of study, exercise his leadership skills, set goals, and pay attention to detail, which resulted in the team going to state the last 2 years in a row, which was the first time in its 11-year history. And we owed a lot of that to Tanner. On the team, he also earned the honor of being the top scorer when we were in Madison both those years. And just to show you what a wonderful person he also is, Levi Van Andel was in charge of his statue, I guess you would call it. Yeah, and Tanner went to the bathroom, and Levi was supposed to be watching this statue. Tanner comes back, it's broke. To this day, it's broke, right? We offered to, get it fixed or whatever, but it holds a special place in his heart. So, as long as he's happy. Okay, Tanner lists this experience as his most memorable and his favorite school trip. Who knew tests, speeches, and interviews, along with keeping track of a certain person, I kind of guess, his purse. She lost it a number of times. I have no doubt that these skills will serve him well in pre-med at UW-Madison and with his team when he is an anesthesiologist. Tanner has been in a number of other activities at WHS. While in forensics, Tanner got over his fear of public speaking and earned a number of awards there. He lists his forensic coaches as the people who have influenced him most in his life. His other activities included FFA, where he realized his leadership potential, Spanish Honor Society, NHS, Student Council, Cross Country, and Ski Club. In addition, Tanner has volunteered at Ruth's Pantry and the End of Watch Memorial Golf Outing. He was also the coordinator of the Gravestone Restoration Project for Grace Lutheran Church. Because of his blood donations, Tanner will be a Gallon grad also this year. If Tanner could relive any moment this year, it would be going to his uncle's wedding in Cozumel, Mexico. He wishes for the future are to have a good paying job that he enjoys, travel to a couple of exotic countries, and visit 6 different continents. If he could, he would start a school or hospital in an underdeveloped country. With all of this in mind, the following quote is important to Tanner and inspires him to pursue what he wants in life now. The Dalai Lama, when asked what surprises him most about humanity, said, "Man, because he sacrifices his health in order to make money. Then he sacrifices money to recuperate his health. And then he is so anxious about the future that he does not enjoy the present, the result being that he does not live in the present or the future. He lives as if he is never going to die, and then he dies having never lived." I am proud to have worked with Tanner, and no doubt he will get and enjoy everything he wants out of life. His parents have done a really good job with this one. Would Tanner's parents, Bruce and Karen, please stand to be recognized? But you're not going to need it.
Hi again. Dunkin' Donuts, books, and Ed Sheeran. These are just a few of the things loved by this young woman. Who can I possibly be talking about? You guessed it, Carly Redmond. Come on up on stage with me, please. Was it the Ed Sheeran, the Dunkin' Donuts, or the books? Carly is a true bibliophile. In fact, she was one of the first freshmen to eagerly join the school's book club. She has been one of the most energetic and involved book club members. It's always fun to come to a book club meeting and see Carly just so excited to talk about the latest book. Her excitement for reading and discussing books was truly contagious and will be missed. We are planning on forming an alumni book club, so I certainly expect Carly and many other members to be a part of that. Clearly, Carly has a very bright future in front of her, but it's important to reflect on all she has done while in high school. Carly has been active in volunteering. In fact, she has helped at numerous concessions, worked as the technical crew for productions, volunteered at many different fundraisers, and helped with the school's safe driving weeks throughout several years of high school. She is also very proud of the fact that she's been involved in theater for the past 3 years of her life. She stated, "Theater has had such a wonderful impact on my life, it made me into who I am today." At our 10-year reunion, Carly hopes to have graduated college, and hopefully she's working her way up in the business world. She would also like to think that she has continued to travel the world, and maybe even own a Dunkin' Donuts somewhere. Her love of Dunkin' Donuts continues with her plan to possibly earn her 15 minutes of fame by hoping that the CEO of Dunkin' Donuts will realize her love of Dunkin' Donuts and award her with free Dunkin' Donuts for the rest of her life. Now, I might not be able to give her free Dunkin' Donuts for the rest of her life, but I did make this cute little plaque for you that it's not America that runs on Dunkin', but Carly Redmond. Carly has had many wonderful people impact her life so far. Obviously, her parents have had a very big influence on her. One of Carly's favorite memories was from her childhood when her parents decided that they would celebrate New Year's around the world. So they looked at many different traditions from different places, and as each hour got closer to midnight, they celebrated in a different way. Another person who has had a major influence on her life is her dear friend, Libby Ledoux. Carly wrote that Libby is one of her best friends. Libby pushes Carly to be her best. Whether it is getting Carly to study for a test, forcing Carly to go work out with her, or encouraging Carly about college, Carly knows that Libby is always looking out for her. Also, Libby got Carly to join theater, which has made a huge impact on her life. Carly's bucket list items are to meet Ed Sheeran and own a Dunkin' Donuts. Good luck with that. Her most useful piece of information that she's learned in her life is to be who you are and do what you love. Don't let others break you down for it. Best wishes to you, Carly. I wish you a lifetime of happiness and success. Be sure to always make time to read, too. And come back and talk to me about the books you read. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in recognizing Carly Redmond and her parents, Rob and Pam Redmond.
I failed to introduce myself last time. I made a note, but I forgot. I'm Craig Western, 7th grade social studies coach most of these kids, so in case you didn't know. For this representative, this inductee, at her 10-year reunion, the question was, what do you want to have accomplished? Fittingly, her answer was, more than anyone else. This fiery personality throughout her life has allowed Abby Johnson to achieve great things. I must say, I talked about the questionnaire earlier, but I always learn a few things, and I was surprised, well, kind of surprised at Abby's answers. So here we have a few to give you some examples. When the question was, what advice do you give future Winneconne students? She says, you get away with almost anything if you just smile and wave. This makes me proud as a teacher. What will you miss most about school? Taking classes I can goof off with my friends. Again, proud teacher. And coach. What is your life accomplishment that you feel proudest of so far? Again, that's a big question. Finishing my junior year with over 30 missing assignments. That would make you ineligible this year. It's not being a key, when I look at this, I read the question, I'm like, come on, Abby. Like, it's not being a key contributor of a state cross-country team. It's not helping lead a 4x8 to state and making podium. It's not your 8-time all-conference, championships, awards that you have. Of course, I'm not surprised by her answer, because it wouldn't be in Abby's nature to ever promote herself or talk about what she has accomplished. It's just not who she is. Abby is one of the most accomplished runners in Winneconne history. She is a 2-time state athlete, and some of you might say 2-time. There's way more to that story. My family, my friends feel like they know Abby Johnson, because her story goes way back to 7th grade, broken arm, or 8th grade, broken arm. Freshman year, broken leg. And by the way, she was still running through all of this. And I think when you look at, it's a positive, and maybe she'll hate that I'm going to this wound here, but 6 times she has missed state by 1 spot. Now, for those of you, and I go, she's probably like, now to put this in, and I've sat down and I've done the math, big surprise, right? 5 events in track, totaling 3.5 seconds. Not one time of those 5 was it, you're talking 0.1, 0.3, 0.5, 0.9. She is on the precipice of just busting open state championships here. And one's across with 9.8 seconds. So you take 13.3 seconds. You have an 8-time state. And with still track to go, mind you. And, I'll get to some of this later. A lost, she won't ever say this, but a lost year. And that is an incredible, incredible accomplishment. Abby claims her secret to success, though, is always staying positive. I have seen this from time to time. With all the amazing things I have seen that I have seen Abby do here, and have some bad luck and heartache, but not once have I ever seen her or heard her complain. Her junior year, she was the top-ranked runner coming into the year for our sectional. First day of practice, after a hard summer train, first day of practice, she felt a pain in her side, and later find out Abby would have a new fight on her hands, and that would be cancer. Abby approached that diagnosis with courage, with class, and her usual positive energy that can only make everybody around her better, as I've heard so many of her friends talk about. Through chemotherapy, Abby still attended mostly every single practice, and she still ran races, which was an inspiration to Fox Valley. Such an inspiration to her teammates, coaches, and anyone else who followed her story. People still talk about it. So I would have to argue about your greatest life accomplishment. There is a long list, far greater than 30 late assignments. Abby is so well-rounded in her passions, a member of theater crew, book club, FFA, Parley Pro, Pro SHF. The list goes on like so many of you here tonight. Abby's passions also extend into some interesting discussions about Marvel characters and Netflix shows. Another one of her passions can be summed up, maybe you want to sing it, I'm not sure, you put the phrase down. Bill. You wrote Bill a lot. Bill, the science guy. So, of course, the sciences that have been and will continue to be her lifelong passion. You wrote it. As she goes to UW-Madison, where she'll major in biomedical engineering. With your determination, I have no doubt you will do great things. It is my pleasure and honor to congratulate Abby Johnson. I would like her parents, her wonderful parents, Evan and Mary, I see them back there, to stand up, please, as we congratulate her.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rochelle, and I'm the cheer coach here at Winneconne High. I came across a quote recently that reads, "I'm good at what I do because I do what I'm good at," which at first thought is a nice message because it emphasizes capitalizing on your strengths. However, when thinking about the student that I have the pleasure of introducing tonight, I think that quote could be updated to read, "I'm good at what I do because I do what I'm good at, and that which I'm not good at, I practice until I'm great." With that addition, I think this quote describes the student I'm introducing tonight very well, because while he has many strengths, he also isn't afraid to confront his weaknesses, go against the status quo, and break through barriers in order to work towards greatness in all aspects of his life. Dan Bajewski, please come on down. Daniel's natural leadership, enviable work ethic, desire to strive for greatness, and strong personal character have led him to success in both his academics and his extracurriculars, and have led us to this night as we celebrate his Senior National Honor Society Award. Similar to his classmates here tonight, Dan has worked very hard to make his academics a priority and maintain an excellent grade point average while taking advanced placement classes, landing him in the top 20 students in his class. Outside of his classes, he also participated in a number of extracurricular and volunteer activities. He was a member of the concert and pep bands and the school's book club. He enjoyed being in the spotlight during his roles in Godspell and Beauty and the Beast, as well as his time doing magic shows for local retirement homes. He developed his character and leadership skills as a Youth Frontier Group leader, Teen Symposium freshman leader, and a Badger Boys state representative. And he shared his knowledge and study skills with other students as a tutor for English, geometry, and science courses. And he probably did handstands and backflips at all of those things. Because anyone who knows Dan knows that his true passion for the past 3.5 years has been the sport of cheer. In fact, Dan says his proudest accomplishment to date is helping to develop the co-ed cheer program that we have at WHS now. And with the team earning a state champs title and placing in the top 20 small co-ed teams at UCA Nationals this year, Dan certainly has much to be proud of when it comes to himself and his teammates. Dan also took on the personal challenge of competing in the partner stunt division and was doing skills that, in that event, that most high school cheer athletes can only dream of, which earned him and his partner the honor of being named the 5th best high school partner stunt group in the nation by UCA. Obviously, Dan finished his high school cheer career with a bang, but I'd like to take a moment to look back at where he started because I think that speaks volumes to who he is as a person. Dan first joined the cheer world as a scrawny freshman when he dressed up as Willie the Wolf for a basketball game, which somehow escalated into us getting him to try a few stunts and tumbling skills in practice, and then he was hooked. Now, I will say that when Dan first started, he wasn't very good. But as I said before, Dan isn't one to back down from a challenge. So instead of taking the easy road and playing a sport that he was already good at, he chose one that may not be the most popular or the first choice among most male athletes, but it became his passion, and he turned any weakness or doubt that he encountered into a goal and then into an accomplishment. It took a lot of long hours, along with a lot of laughs and sarcastic comments thrown back and forth, but all of his hard work led to well-deserved talent that garnered the attention of college cheer coaches from across the nation. And Dan recently had a signing day to commit to the University of Central Florida and cheer with the Knights on a Division I athletic scholarship. We know he'll continue to thrive both on and off the mat as a Knight, and he already is setting big goals for himself as he hopes that his 15 minutes of fame come from winning college cheer nationals. While at UCF, Dan also plans to pursue a business degree and work towards his 10-year goal of owning his own business as an entrepreneur, which I gotta say might be kind of hard if your prediction of where you'll be 1 year from now comes true. Dan said that 1 year from now he thinks he'll be in his parents' basement playing video games. Your parents' basement is kind of far away from your classes at UCF.
Yeah, I know.
Just saying. But in all seriousness, Dan's natural ability to network and build strong relationships with those around him, as well as his personal mantra of working hard, modeling the actions of other successful people, and making kindness and respect a priority will serve him well as he pursues his goals. Dan says that what he will miss most about high school is the atmosphere and being close to his friends, family, and teachers, but specifically calls out his parents as the most influential people in his life. He credits them with giving him helpful and unique perspectives on life and says that he cherishes the love that they have given him so far. So as we congratulate Dan for his Senior NHS Award tonight, I'd also like to ask Dan's parents, Joe and Roberta Bayeski, to stand and be recognized. Congratulations.
It's a lot easier to look at the back of your head than it is the front. My name is Andrea Fleece, and I am a physical education teacher here at Winneconne, and I also coach girls basketball. The next inductee hates numbers like 17, 39, and 53, but she loves donuts, fries on Mondays, and she especially loves her basketball coach, which is funny because our first encounter in the classroom, she was absolutely terrified of me. Jordan Ellis, please join me. We've come a long way. Next school year, Jordan will be going to the school at UW Stevens Point, where she will be repping purple and yellow on her uniform as she continues her basketball career as a pointer. Pretty great choice if you ask me. At UWSP, Jordan will be pursuing a career as a physical education teacher. When I first got here, when they were all in 8th grade, they all called it gym class, and still many do, and I'd always correct them. And now look where we are. Looking back at her experiences here in Winneconne, Jordan has so much to be proud of. She has been part of basketball, volleyball, track, crow, key club, student council, and NHS. During her basketball career, she earned second team all-conference as a junior and first team all-conference as a senior. Her passion for the game and getting better every day, Jordan has also earned the award of watching more film than her coach. Things you may not know about Jordan. Her brother Jake is her most influential person. He has taught her to follow her dreams no matter what anyone says. Her 15 minutes of fame, which you can get on board with a couple other people, is being a YouTube sensation. She wants to travel the world and not go poor. What she will miss most about high school is cheering on her classmates at basketball games and football games on Friday nights. Influential people who have impacted her life in Winneconne, to name a couple, Coach Western, Coach Below, Mrs. Below, and Mr. Van Camp. Looking back at my first year in Winneconne, I feel so fortunate I was able to spend it with the group of 8th graders that I did. There are many seniors that have made a very positive impact on my life the last 5 years, and Jordan, you are one of them. Congratulations on all your accomplishments here in Winneconne, but you have so many more dreams to go chase. Work hard, be kind, and always believe in yourself. If you'd all please join me in congratulating Jordan, along with their parents, Ken and Tracy Ellis.
Okay, this next student that I have the privilege of introducing stated that the following quote from Bob Goff sums up her life philosophy. Here it is. I used to think you had to be special for God to use you, but now I know you simply need to say yes. Without a doubt, I can confirm that this young lady has said yes. I would like to invite Hannah Davinska to please come forward. Right, in the words of Hannah, here she is explaining the importance of this quote to her. She says, I chose this quote because so often I think I have to be perfect or be someone for God to use me in His plans. But over the course of my life, I have slowly learned that we don't have to be extraordinary because we have an extraordinary God. All we need to do is say yes to Him and yes to His plan. Allow me to start with some facts about Hannah that she has shared about herself. Hannah confesses that she has very bad vocabulary, which prompts me to ask a little clarity what that means. Bad? 4-letter words? What are you talking about? Bad? Bad? She also believes that she will, that didn't work, did it? She also believes that she will earn her 15 minutes of fame by taking off her socks and then folding them by only using her feet. Good breaths in that? Yeah, nice. Hannah once planned on being an eye doctor because this sounds familiar. Because in elementary school, her BFF, Abby Gilman, and her both had glasses, and they both loved to get their eyes checked. And Hannah is one of the class valedictorians with a 4.0 GPA. Hannah was asked the question, if you knew that you could not fail, what would you do? Her response, I would start an orphanage or school for children with special needs somewhere around the world. Now, Hannah, I have an encouraging response for you about that. And using the words of another quote by Bob Goff. You may have already heard this quote, we'll see. Bob says, I used to be afraid of failing at something that really mattered to me, but now I'm more afraid of succeeding at things that don't matter. Hannah plans to take a year to serve in Nepal and then attend Liberty University to become a special education teacher. She identifies her mom as the most influential person because she has taught Hannah how to cook soy and gluten-free, and because her mom has always been there for her. Hannah has always been active in sports. For much of her high school career, she was sidelined with lots of injuries. Despite these obstacles, Hannah has earned the cross-country Works Award, the basketball team First Award, and Winterfest Queen. Hannah, these awards show that your coaches respect you and your peers respect you. You have made quite an impact on this community. In conclusion, Hannah, I love your philosophy, which was, I used to think you had to be special for God to use you, but now I know you simply need to say yes. Hannah, you have said yes, but I'm going to tell you this, you are also special. Now go start that orphanage. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in recognizing Hannah Novinska and her parents, Brian and Kristen Novinska.
Good evening. The evening is nearing the end, but we got two quality seniors left to recognize. I'm Jenny Reese, elementary physical education teacher and varsity softball coach. Back in the 2005-2006 school year, I was teaching physical education at Winnick County Elementary School in my first year. I have a kindergarten class coming down the hallway with their teacher, and I see a student holding the hand of the teacher at this time. When the teacher gets close to me, she lets me know quietly, it's my daughter. Just grab her and take her with you. She'll be okay. I agreed, and for the record, 13 years later, she did survive my class. I have had the gratification of watching this inductee grow from a quiet, timid kindergarten student to a confident, strong young lady. Hannah Wright, please come forward and join me. As a student, Hannah demonstrated a love for learning and a level of commitment necessary to succeed in college and beyond. She has been passionate and focused on her goals throughout high school to pursue her interest in pre-medicine at St. Norbert College. She plans to major in biology or chemistry. She wants to become a pediatric cardiologist or a neonatologist. Did I say that right? Perfect. On top of her demanding academic workload, to prepare herself well for her future endeavors, Hannah was able to balance her time participating in extracurricular activities such as softball, volleyball, and girls basketball manager. She was a Youth Frontiers small group leader and a member of the Key Club, Peers Reaching Out, and the Winnick County Athletic Leadership Council. Furthermore, Hannah found opportunities to be involved with volunteer work and part-time jobs. Hannah recalls her funniest moment happened just this past March. She was walking into school when it was really slippery, and she wiped out. She stated, like, my feet flew up in the air, and there was a point where my entire body wasn't touching the ground. She nailed her elbow on a car. So yes, everyone heard and saw her fall. From this experience, Hannah explains her most useful piece of information she learned in school: walk slow in the parking lot during the winter. One other tidbit of information on Hannah many don't know. Back in 5th grade, she broke her wrist running backwards during a warm-up drill at a basketball camp called I've Got Skills. So, clearly, she doesn't have that skill. Hannah plans to leave her mark on the world by being kind. She loves being able to make an impact in someone's life. She feels the world needs more people like this. Her advice to future Winnick County students is, high school goes by really fast, so make the most of it and definitely enjoy yourself. Hannah's life philosophy is summed up from this quote: we cannot change the cards we are dealt, just how we play the hand. This stuck out to her because all too often we get upset about things we don't have control over. If we can't control what happened, we can at least control how we react to it. Hannah recognizes her parents as her most influential people in her life. They have taught her how to be her own person and have pushed her to do her very best. They always want the best for her and give her the love and support she needs to accomplish her goals. She further stated her mom has basically shown her how to do life, and she wouldn't be who she is today without her. With that, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in recognizing and congratulating Hannah Wright and her parents, Kristen and Brian Wright.
All right, come on, people, let's stand up. Woo! This may be 28, but I could do this all night.
This is like the night for me. I am Lisa Hutchinson. I am a public speaking teacher, so this is right in my wheelhouse. Let's just keep this going all night. Love it. I'm not filling out rubrics. I'm just sitting back and enjoying these wonderful speeches. I am so excited to introduce this next person because I love to watch her cry. Let's see if we can make it happen. Leah Olson. The reason she has been crying in my CAP speech class is because she must assume that the harder students laugh at my obnoxious jokes and stories, the higher grade they will receive. I am here to tell her publicly tonight that due to her very theatrical reactions, which include, but are not limited to, turning beet red, gasping for breath, and ugly crying, she will be receiving an A+ regardless of what happens the rest of the semester. Seriously, you don't even have to come to the final. Her experience in plays and musicals have paid off. I am not the only teacher Leah has reacted to in this way. She said there was hardly a day in 5th grade that Mr. Kaiser did not make her cry with laughter. He taught Leah to enjoy life, and she is very thankful for that. I hope Leah will share this same enthusiasm with her UW-Milwaukee professors, where she plans to major in nursing. And this decision was influenced by her lovely grandmother, Jan, who is a nurse as well. And Leah appreciates all of her grandmother's support in academics and sports. Leah hopes to specialize in pediatric oncology, and admirably, the mark she hopes to leave on the world is to never fail to put a smile on a child's face. And when I read that, I was reminded of Patch Adams. I learned about Patch Adams in 1998. You weren't born yet. Patch Adams is a real doctor who is also a professional clown. And Robin Williams played him in a movie, and he's still practicing medicine. And when I thought of this, I thought I have to get Leah a clown nose. So I'm going to use her for a visual aid here for a minute. Come on over. Take this nose, and I don't want you to put it on your nose. I actually want you to hold it up to your lip, like just kind of like this. Yeah. Because my next story here is a time she put a lot of smiles on her classmates' faces during sophomore year when she face planted in the hallway, and she got a huge bump. Do you like my visual aid? A huge bump on her lip. And this is the best part. Picture day. Picture day the next day. So she has a wonderful memento of this clumsy event. Another fond memory from high school. You can put it down. She's a little sleepy. Okay, so another fond memory from high school is Friday Night Lights. Where's the football team at? There are no football players in here? Wow, okay. So Leah said that if she could relive one moment from the past 18 years, it would be to watch the last football game of her high school career, and then I was expecting the football team to cheer. Okay, this fan is not just a spectator in the stands. However, Leah has played softball for most of her life. Where's the softball team at? There we go. All right, she said she is always a happy camper whenever she gets to see the smiling face of Mrs. Reese, her coach for over 8 years. Leah said Mrs. Reese has always pushed her to be the best player she can be, and she wouldn't be where she is today without her coach's supportive personality. To conclude, I want to reference a quote from Leah's informative speech this semester, which was about her scary yet successful heart surgery during her sophomore year. She said, "Overall, I am very thankful for the comfort of my friends and family. This experience has impacted me and allowed me to view life in a different way. I try to be more positive about my actions." Leah, your beautiful heart was meant to keep on beating strong, so you can continue being a positive, healing force in this world. I wish you more crying in your future with laughter. Paul and Julie Olson, please stand to be recognized.
Right? Stand. At this time, I would like our senior NHS members to please rise and face the crowd and give a thank you round of applause to everyone who took their time and then wrote speeches for you and parents who've done everything for you from birth till today. So please give them a round of applause. And for this final time in this group, I would like you to please exit the auditorium to go have your picture taken as senior NHS members.
We would just like to extend a thank you to everyone who made this evening possible and congratulate all of our new inductees and our senior members. We would now like to announce the new officers for the 2018-2019 school year. If you could please join us on stage for a picture at the conclusion of the ceremony. Historian and Public Relations Officer Rudy Liljeberg. Treasurer Isabella Goland. Secretary Riley Asian. Vice President Sydney Hall. And President Rachel Bissett. This concludes our inductions and senior ceremony. Thank you again, and please feel free to grab a dessert or a few on your way out. Reminder to the sophomore cleanup crew, check in with Austin, and they'll get you started with your duties. Thank you again.
It would always be there. I have a son that's the same way.